So every now and then may definition ng Supreme Court sa mga aspeto ng impeachment. Una, yung Francisco, the meaning of initiation. Ito namang Duterte, yung mga steps regarding yung paano yung pag-initiate ng impeachment complaint. So, napaliwanagan na ito at saka yung forthwith last na kaso. So, yan talaga ang sitwasyon kasi ang Supreme Court ay the final arbiter of all constitutional provisions. Siya ang final na magbibigay ng meaning sa mga debatable na mga wordings diyan sa Constitution. Pinagdidebatihan. So, yan na. Yung meaning ng forthwith, meron ng decision.
Ano ba itong mga nangyayari ngayon, lalo na sa usaping legal. Pero unahin ko lang muna yung naging desisyon po nitong Korte Suprema, and alam ko na basa mo na rin siguro itong kanilang naging desisyon. Merong nabanggit kasi itong si Attorney Harry Roque na 0-2, tali. Merong tali na 0-2 pabor sa pangalawang Pangulo. Sa inyo po, ano po masasabi niyo po ukol dito?
Actually, with that kind of ruling, I am not surprised. For one, the matter is already moot and academic. There is nothing to command kasi the petition there is mandamus, commanding the Senate to convene as an impeachment court. Initially, I had doubt regarding the feasibility of that petition, viability of that petition because of the separation of powers principle. The Supreme Court cannot compel a co-equal body to act within the sphere of its given authority. Also, it's done both an academic because there's nothing to compel as regards to the first impeachment complaint that was invalidly initiated by the House of Representatives.
Opo. Siguro ang isa sa mga mahalaga dito na naging sentro ng debate bago pa ma-question is itong katagang forthwith, no? Sa Article 11 Section 3 ng Konstitusyon. Ang sabi kasi dito, i-quote ko lang yung naging paliwanag in Tagalog, no? Sa post ng Korte Suprema. Sabi dito, nilinaw ng Korte Suprema na ang salitang forthwith sa Article 6 or Article 11, Section 3.4 ng Konstitusyon ay nangangahulugang sa loob ng makatwirang panahon na maaring na mas maaring mahaba o mas maikli depende sa mga pangyayari ng bawat kaso. Nagbibigay ito ng pagkakataon sa Senado na gawin ang mga kinakailangang paghahanda bago magpulong bilang isang impeachment court. So, tingin nyo po na sagot na yung debate kung ano nga ba itong forthwith na ito?
Meaning ng forthwith. Oh, yes. At least meron ng definition. So, every now and then may definition ng Supreme Court sa mga aspeto ng impeachment. Una, yung Francisco, the meaning of initiation. Ito namang Duterte, yung mga steps regarding yung paano yung pag-initiate ng impeachment complaint. So, napaliwanagan na ito at saka yung forthwith last na kaso. So, yan talaga ang sitwasyon kasi ang Supreme Court ay the final arbiter of all constitutional provisions. Siya ang final na magbibigay ng meaning sa mga debatable na mga wordings diyan sa Constitution. Pinagdidebatihan. So, yan na. Yung meaning ng forthwith, meron ng decision. Okay? So, let us put an end to that.
Dagdag ko lang, attorney, bagamat naging moot na itong naging decision, yung issue na ito, pero magagamit ito kasi umuusad yung kakatapos lang doon sa House Justice Committee. Di pa natin alam kung mapagdidesisyonan. So, if ever man na makakuha ng sapat na boto, so magagamit na ito ng Senado. Pero ang isa kong tanong, attorney, pwede bang, sa tingin nyo po, dito sa desisyon na ito, pwede bang antayin ni Senado na maglabas muna ang desisyon? Halimbawa, nakalusot na sa plenaryo, no? Papunta na sa Senado. Pwede bang hindi mag-execute muna itong Senado at aantayin pa muna yung mga question doon po sa Korte Suprema patungkol dito sa impeachment process dyan sa Kamara po, attorney?
Pwede rin. Kasi that is a judgment call on the part of a co-equal branch of government. So, judgment call yan na sila lang pwedeng magde-decide kung kailan sila mag-convene as an impeachment court. Kung they decide as a whole, yung consensus nila na kailangan hintayin muna yung decision ng Supreme Court, then pwede gawin nyo yan. So pwede rin na hindi lang hintayin ang decision ng Supreme Court considering na walang TRO. So in other words, ang bottom line dito is this is a prerogative of a branch of government that is tasked by the Constitution with the power to try and decide cases of impeachment.
Opo. Dito naman tayo sa pag-usad naman ng impeachment, attorney, no? Kasi kahapon nga nagboto ang Committee on Justice na iusad na sa plenaryo, no? Meron pong isang kongresista, si Robert Nazal ng BH Party List. Meron siyang inilabas na statement, no? Basahin ko lang po at kunan ko lang yung punto nyo po ukol dito. Sabi niya rito, Under Article 11 of 1987 Constitution, the House of Representatives has the exclusive power to initiate impeachment process. This power is not absolute. It is bounded by constitutional standards and guided by due process. The role of the Committee on Justice is limited and preliminary. It is to determine sufficiency in form, sufficiency in substance, and the existence of probable cause. It is not a trial. It is not a final judgment. It is not a declaration of guilt. A finding of probable cause, by definition, is a threshold determination. It merely answers whether there is enough basis to warrant further inquiry. It does not establish liability. It does not prove wrongdoing. It does not justify conclusions that properly belong only to a full and fair adjudication. Kaya malinaw ng probable cause ay hindi katumbas ng kasalanan. Dagdag pa dito, as the committee prepares its report for the plenary, several issues must be placed on the record to protect the integrity of the process. Sabi pa niya dito, the presentation of financial intelligence reports, particularly those attributed to the Anti-Money Laundering Council, must be approached with the highest degree of caution. Under the Anti-Money Laundering Act, AMLAC reports are confidential in nature and may only be disclosed pursuant to an order issued by Court of Appeals. More importantly, the figures cited in the hearings reflect transaction flows over a span of years, including periods prior to the Vice President's assumption of office. Transaction flows are not in themselves proof of illicit enrichment. They are not statements of net worth. They do not establish unlawful origin absent clear, direct, and competent evidence. Sa madaling salita, ang paggalaw ng pera ay hindi agad ebidensya ng katiwalian kung walang malinaw na patunay kung saan ito nanggaling. Attorney.
Yes, that vindicates our position now pending with the Supreme Court that what the Committee on Justice is doing is already outside of its boundary. We firmly believe that our position that the impeachment process done by the Committee on Justice, House Committee on Justice, is unconstitutional because it's no longer a hearing but a mini trial, which only the Senate has the sole power to try and decide all cases of impeachment. Ang position namin ay vindicated insofar as what has surfaced in the hearing of the House Justice Committee, that it has already become a fishing expedition. It has gone beyond the articles, it has gone beyond the impeachment complaint, which by definition or by all standards, this should not have added, this should not have supplemented. Pero ang nangyari ay ini-enlarge nila yung impeachment complaint na supposed to be, kung ang role nila is just like a prosecutor's office that conducts preliminary investigation, ay hanggang doon lamang sa ano yung nakalagay doon sa complaint. Pero ang nangyari, tingnan mo, dumating pa siya sa BIR, dumating pa siya sa lahat-lahat amlak na wala naman dyan siya sa impeachment complaint. So, na-justify yung position namin na it was an illegal and unconstitutional act, na we are hoping and praying that between now and before an article, the House will in plenary will vote to adopt or to affirm or reject the report of the House Committee on Justice, the Supreme Court will rule favorably on our petition that the conduct of the House Committee of Justice is unconstitutional.
Opo, huli na lang tanong. Opo.
Usurpation of the role of the Senate.
Opo, huling tanong ukol dito sa impeachment, attorney. Sakaling umusad ito sa Senado, pwede bang questionin sa Senado na saglit lang itong binuong reklamo dyan sa House ay maraming mga halimbawa kung wala pang desisyon yung Korte Suprema, dito yung binuong kaso dyan sa House ay maraming mga butas. Pwede ba naming iapila na itong reklamo na ito ay mabasura, considering sila po ay Korte, attorney?
Well, that is maybe one of the legal strategies of the lawyers of the Vice President. Hindi ko naman pwede pangunahan yung kanilang mga plan of action. Maybe that's one of the things, one of the steps na gawin nila. Pero pagdating na sa Senado, everything is within the jurisdiction of the Senate as an impeachment court. So, trial, baka part niyan sa trial at part niyan sa decision-making process ng Senate kung darating man yan yung articles of impeachment.
Opo. Lipat po tayo dito po sa naging pahayag po ni Speaker Romualdez sa kamakailan po, attorney, na hindi daw siya yung mastermind, may dadalhin daw siya pababa, kung hihilahin siya pababa. Kung babasahin, reading between the lines po ng kanyang pahayag, tila pag-amin ba ito na may nagaganap ng korupsyon?
It appears. Merong parang implicit, in fact, express admission. Kasi why is it that he will not go alone? In other words, dami kami dito.
Opo.
Marami kami dito. Yan ang ibig sabihin dyan. At hihirain ko kayo. I will not go down alone. So, mayroong admission dyan. Ang maganda dyan, that would now compel the Senate, Blue Ribbon Committee, to resume its investigation regarding the flood control scandal and call the 18 Marines and Gutesa again, because their testimonies are being utilized by the Ombudsman to pin down former Speaker Martin Romualdez. So in other words, ginamit na yan ng Ombudsman. Why can't the Senate utilize it for purposes of conducting its investigation? If the Ombudsman has already filed a case against the former Speaker, so there is no reason for the Senate to prevent the appearance of the Speaker invoking the interparliamentary courtesy principle. There's nothing, there's no reason to, there's no more reason to adhere and to give parang to apply the principle kasi the issue involved here is a massive graft and corruption, the magnitude of which is unprecedented in our history as a country, involving corruption scandal. Wala pa ito nangyari. Unprecedented ito. So, hindi na pwede yung interparliamentary courtesy kasi yung issue is already imbued with public interest.
Ngayon, kumbaga, dati, yun pa yung ini-invoke nila eh. Mismong ang
Mm.
pinuno pa ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Ngayon, tsaka na magkukumahog na dapat maimbita at magpaliwanag dito noong ano na, ganito na po ang nangyari. Pero meron daw pong ikakaso, or meron na bang kaso, di ko lang alam, ang ombudsman laban dito kay Speaker Romualdez. At ang kabilang po sa naging source nila ay yung naging testimonya ni Guteza. Ano po ang maano ninyo dito po, attorney? Considering nung una talagang dinidiscredit nila itong si Guteza.
Kaya nakakatawa yan. So, inconsistent. So ngayon, mapoforce na si Senator Lacson to give, to reopen the investigation and call Guteza again. Kasi ginamit na nga yung kanyang testimony to pin down Romualdez. So, what prevents him from asking or from calling Guteza again at the 18 Marines regarding what they stated in their affidavit para mabigyan niya ng linaw and the people are watching kasi yan naman talaga ang role ng Blue Ribbon Committee, to investigate mga wrongdoings. Kaya nga ito yung Committee on Accountability. So, yan ang tradition ng committee na yan eh. So, there's no more reason for Senator Lacson not to continue with the hearing and utilize Guteza and the other 18 Marines.
Opo, so kumbaga napapanahon na talaga hindi lang si Guteza, pati na rin yung 18 Marines kasi nagko-corroborate sila at makokonekta rin natin doon kay sinabi ni Congressman Zaldico and sa recent na mga pangyayari hindi ko narinig na parang dinideny yung sinabi ni Guteza at ng 18 Marines nitong si Zaldico, attorney.
Yun nga, katawa-tawa na wala nang justification pa si Senator Lacson if he will live up yung historic role saka yung tradition ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, if he will if only to uphold that historic role at saka yung tradition ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, Senator Lacson as the chairman has no more reason not to continue with the hearing and call Guteza and the 18 Marines kasi ginamit na yan ng ombudsman against Speaker Martin Romualdez.
Opo. Nakikita nyo rin po ba, meron din pong agam-agam kung nagbabasa po tayo sa mga komento din ng ating mga kababayan na parang inano din po nila, sir, na baka stage lang yan, tapos ang isasampa na kaso, hindi mabigat na kaso, para at least man lang, tapos mababasura yung kaso, sasabihin na, tingnan ninyo, may kinaso ninyo, mahina, talagang wala akong kasalanan. Yung mga ganyan po na maaring senaryo po, attorney.
Actually, hindi wala naman lahat ng mga plunder cases naman. Kina Enrile, yung and others, sa umpisa lang, pero pagkatapos acquitted naman. After how many years? Pero ang issue nito, politika ito eh. So, ang political objective, ma-achieve yan upon the filing of the case because if you are filed with plunder, kahit pa mahina yung ebidensya, in the meantime, you will be in jail because plunder is not billable. So, yung hearing mo for you to be granted with bail, it will take time, but in the meantime, you will stay in jail. So, for purposes of political points, kung gagamitin man yung kaso ni Speaker Romualdez na plunder just to demonstrate the fact na the President is really serious on running after corrupt officials of the country, especially those involved in the flood control anomaly na he claims not to be a part of it. So, ngayon nakakuha siya ng big fish. I think yung imprisonment ni Romualdez up to election period, that would serve as a political, parang political noise for political points on the part of the president. But yung ako, kung tatanungin mo, eventually, yung mga kaso na yan ay talagang kung hindi yan seryosohin, kung walang mga ibang-iba magtatayo pa ng mga witnesses na corroborate sa mga testimony, ang ending dyan, pareha lang sa nangyari kina Enrile. So, but it will take time. By the time, tapos na yung political objective. Ito, Admar, it's not about conviction per se. It's all about demonstration of or presentation of a trophy na mayroong nagawa ang present administration to fight graft and corruption. At saka ang trophy na yan, kaya nga sabi ni Speaker, I don't want to become the fall guy, I don't want to become the scapegoat. Kasi siya ang gawing trophy to demonstrate na talagang si President Marcos is serious about running after the corrupt officials. Kaya if he can afford to imprison or to file a case against his own first cousin, how much more for others. So magandang epekto yan sa political, yung sa political aspect. May siguro yan ang kanilang gusto ipalabas, pero the people alam nila na hindi man magawa yan ni Speaker Romualdez lang. Hindi man pwede mangyari yan na walang approval, walang participation ng presidente. Kasi even the testimony of Saldico, he is very categorical that the president was asking 100 billion budget insertion para sa kanyang 25% na kickback amounting to 25 billion. At saka sabi pa ni Saldico, nililiver pa yan sa Ilocos at saka doon sa bahay doon sa Forbes Park ba yan? Yun, mga testimony ay that demonstrates that this kind of corruption cannot be done by the speaker alone. Kasi ang batas, hindi magiging batas, yung GAA, without the approval of the President. At saka walang disbursements na walang approval ng Presidente kasi ang act of the Secretary of the DBM is deemed to be the act of the President under the principle of qualified political agency.